Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are here to cover first reactions from a recent screening or premiere of a movie or show. This one being the long-awaited F1 from Joseph Kosinski. Before we get into it though, please do us a favor. If you like this type of content, movies, TV, pop culture, anything related to this, please feel free to like the video and be sure to subscribe and click that bell that we're notified every time we upload. We do these pretty much for every kind of big release coming out. And yeah, F1 is one of my most anticipated movies, in my top 5 of the year. Not only because, you know, of the technical aspects of behind who's on it, from Joseph Kosinski to Brad Pitt, but also just the, I guess, nature of what this movie could be. It really could be our Top Gun Maverick for 2025. And with a visionary like Joseph Kosinski attached to bring this to life, we are in for a ride in what could almost and may possibly be the best racing movie. Now, there's plenty of great films. You got Ford v Ferrari, you got Rush, you even got Grand Prix from 1966. There are a ton of great racing movies out there, but this one being helmed by the man that just gave us one of the most immersive and action-packed films in Top Gun Maverick, I'm beyond excited. So we're gonna go ahead and start covering these reactions. The first one we have coming from 𝙎𝙬𝙚𝙁𝙚 saying F1 is an absolute banger, pure adrenaline. I felt every turn. Top Gun Maverick for racing, providing once again that Joseph Kosinski is one of the greats. Brad Pitt and 𝙤𝙤𝙚𝙁 are magnetic. F1 summer is here, baby. Love to hear that. I have not looked at any of these. I simply just bookmarked them and I'm putting them in here and reacting to them with you. So hopefully these are all positive, but so far we're off to a great start, no pun intended. We got a lengthy one here coming from the homie Tom MCJL saying Joseph Kosinski's F1 is the most exhilarating event of the year that deserves to be seen on the biggest screen possible. It's Top Gun Maverick meets Mario Kart in all the best ways. F1 is a ferociously riveting, character-driven, action-packed, and emotionally charged adrenaline race that quickly has become my favorite event of the year. Brad Pitt is terrific and excels with 𝙤𝙤𝙚𝙁 opposite to him, with both delivering show-stopping performances. It's adrenaline-fueled, thrilling, and everything you look for in a summer big screen blockbuster. I am in total adoration and completely taken back by both the accessibility of the technical craft and on entertainment. This is the unmissable crowd-pleasing event of the summer. Those are huge words. Obviously, we have a huge summer ahead of us with things just in June alone, like Ballerina, which I just enjoyed. F1's coming up, the live-action How to Train Your Dragon, and 28 years later, going straight into July with a new Jurassic World movie, The Fantastic Four, and Superman. So this summer is stacked, and saying it is the event of the summer is not really a low bar. You know, we've got some huge hitters this year, so those are huge words. Love to hear the amount of positivity though. We're gonna go ahead and move on to this next one, coming from Gregory Elwood saying Joseph Kosinski's F1 is very, very good. Incredible editing, stunning cinematography, and a top-tier Hans Zimmer score. Kerry Condon is perfect. Already starting a campaign with broad Academy members that always vote pretty with Claudio Miranda. Deserves their vote for what he pulls off. Another extremely positive one. Love seeing some love for Hans Zimmer's score. I've been really excited to hear some of that. Hopefully they do release the soundtrack somewhat soon. Even if they don't, I'm beyond pumped to hear what he does, especially after Top Gun Maverick and just Hans Zimmer, the composer himself. Anything he's on, you know you're getting something prestige, made with care. And yeah, I cannot wait to hear it. But we're going to move on. This next one coming from Parth Chaturvedi. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But he says, the F1, Joseph Kosinski floors it from the first frame. Epic races, jaw-dropping sound design, killer editing, gorgeous cinematography, and a pulse-pounding score. It's Top Gun Maverick on wheels. blockbuster loading for WB. I wouldn't give all the credit to Warner Brothers. I'm pretty sure they're just distributing this, so of course they get like some of the money this might make, but this is a real Apple investment. They put like over $300 million into this, which is pocket change for them, of course. But yeah, I'm just curious how this movie will turn out. We do know that Joseph Kosinski is taking very similar approaches with the techniques used in this movie as he did with Top Gun Maverick. It's not just a bunch of VFX and CGI spectacle, which there's nothing wrong with. Of course, there's VFX in Top Gun Maverick. Not everything is practical, but he really made an effort to be as immersive as he possibly could. Have us, the audience, and the actors in those cockpits flying in real jets as much as he possibly could, and that really helped that movie become such an experience. And I feel like that's why so many people went to go watch Top Gun Mavericks for repeat viewing. The feelings that movie gave you, the jolts in your seat, you can almost feel the G's that the characters were. And I cannot wait to see how immersive this movie is in comparison with something like racing and F1. These are the fastest cars on the planet, and so it's gonna be interesting to be in kind of a cockpit with like Brad Pitt racing and seeing the chaos that might ensue on the track. But I'm thoroughly excited. Another great reaction, but we're gonna go ahead and move on. This next one coming from Beans saying, buckle up, F1 is a high octane thrill ride. It's one of those films that you go to the movies for. Brad Pitt and Damson Idris are both dynamic. This is Top Gun for F1 racing fans. Truly a racing movie for a new generation. I love to hear that. We did just get Gran Turismo a couple years back, which was a big surprise. I even made a video on it because it surprised me so much. But yeah, when it comes to racing movies, we don't have an abundance of phenomenal racing movies when you look at it in retrospect. Ford v Ferrari being the very clear winner, in recent memory at least. You have very influential films like Grand Prix and good movies like Rush, but I'd say Ford v Ferrari in terms of the most recent racing movies is pretty much as top tier as it gets. And I'm curious the swings that this movie might take narratively, but more importantly on the track. What will it give us as an audience member that will be a new experience in terms of the racing aspects? And I'm so excited to see it. I know Joseph Kosinski really has a knack for the technical craft of his movies when it comes to visuals, to sound design, to editing. Every little bit of it, he tries to, make everything a part of the production, which is something I love, and I can't wait to see how that impacts these racing scenes. This next one, though, comes from Clayton Davis saying, F1 is the Jerry and Joe show. Bruckheimer and Kosinski really do make audacious entertainment together. Academy, don't do Claudio Miranda dirty again on this one. Brad Pitt and Damson Idris shine brightest when sharing the screen. Race to see this one in IMAX. So that one was a bit more quicker, more of a short review, but another extremely positive one, and I love to hear that. I think that is phenomenal, and hopefully, when we all go watch this movie, it really meets expectations, because I got high hopes for this. But this next one comes from Drew Taylor saying, F1 is absolutely incredible. It's one of the coolest, most entertaining movies you'll probably ever see, but none of that sizzle takes away from its soul. Kosinski precision engineered and eye-popping, edge of your seat pop epic that makes you feel so much. I adored it. That's the first review we've seen really talk about the emotional impact, the soul, the heart behind this movie, and hopefully there's more to come for that. But man, everyone is giving tons and tons of love to the cinematographer Claudio Miranda, and I do think he's done phenomenal work in the past with things like Life of Pi, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, just phenomenal movies, and I can't wait to see how this one looks. This next one comes from Tim Chen, though, and he says, just got out of a F1 screening. The film was way more emotional than I had anticipated. Brad Pitt is hotter than ever. Soundtrack with Tate, Roddy, Rose is perfect accompaniment. to the race scenes. Very short, but someone again talking about the impact emotionally of the movie. I didn't expect really this. It seems like it's got a fairly close or similar narrative to Top Gun Maverick a little bit, with the veteran coming into the fold, taking the youngin under his wing, them butting heads, but probably eventually creating a bond between those two characters. And sounds like it affected people on an emotional level. Love to hear that. This next one we have comes from Maud Garrett. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name, but she says F1 is so freaking good. It has all the adrenaline, heart pacing, story, and character that completely fleshes out this movie into excellence. I can only imagine how much more I would love this if I was a fan of F1 racing. Maybe I am now. That's incredible to hear. I think that should be a movie like this. That should be the goal, is if people aren't familiar with the topic, the situation, or what you're really putting into your movie, you should make them familiar. Make it interesting enough to where they want to become interested. They want to know more about said topic, said situation, and this being obviously F1 racing. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the audience that do not watch F1 racing, but might walk out really interested, and that is so great to hear. We're going to cover a couple more and then wrap this up though. This next one coming from Eric Davis saying, Joseph Kosinski's F1 hits the gas and doesn't stop. The races are epic. The sound design, editing, cinematography, performances, and music are all top notch. You definitely feel shades of Top Gun Maverick in that it plays like an old school summer blockbuster. What a ride. Love that positivity. We're going to end this one off coming from Zach, an extremely long one, but very detailed. So we're going to get into this. He says, F1 is absolutely epic and a must-watch blockbuster movie for this summer. Following up Top Gun Maverick is no small task, but Joseph Kosinski surpasses expectations and makes it easy for anyone to enjoy this film, even if you are not interested in F1. Just like Top Gun Maverick, this film is a thrilling ride all the way through, with Kosinski embracing the tracks with full speed action and immersing you into the driver's view for every race. It almost feels like you're racing too, with your heart in your mouth, seeing these cars at a blistering pace. Brad Pitt is reliable as ever as a captivating lead, searching for his past, and holds his own, while Damson Idris provides the youthful charm and determination that makes him a born superstar. But it is Kerry Condon who steals the show with a stunning performance. Javier Bardem is a delight too. If you're looking for a movie to watch this summer, then F1 is the perfect blockbuster for that, with incredible sound design, beautiful visual effects, a compelling romance, and electrifying races that will have you on the edge of your seat. This is the way to spend your time in theaters. I love everything I just heard there, and then really showcasing, or rather shining a light on Kerry Condon, makes me incredibly happy. I can't wait to see her in this. I'm a big fan of Kerry Condon. I love her in everything that she's in, and I can't wait for this movie. It just sounds like a behemoth of a film, which I always expected, but I'm sure this is bound to make a lot of movements, a lot of shockwaves once it releases. Who knows, maybe this will have that Top Gun Maverick effect, where Top Gun Maverick came out, some people were excited, but it was a legacy sequel of something far, from a much more different generation, and it got such huge buzz that a bunch of people flocked towards that movie, and then it re-released later that same year, and it wound up making like $1.5 billion. And this could have the same effect, but this year is stacked. Let me know how excited you all are for F1. Will you be watching it? Will you wait? Please tell me in the comments below what you think. Do you even like F1 racing? Anything related to this, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We love discussing with you all, and if you made it this far and you haven't, please do us a favor, like the video, subscribe, and click the bell, that way you're notified every time we upload. But other than that, it's been your boy 𝙋𝙧𝙚, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one.